Hello everyone, I'm Fyer-Huné. This is Five for Films, and for the fourth time, I have the lovely Ben Cole here to tell us about what he does and everything. So take it away, Ben.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to be looking down at some notes because I've got an agreement with Fyer-Huné that I keep it to 30 minutes because, as you well know, I can talk the legs off a donkey.
We all love it.
So I'm going to take you back 25 years ago when I was 35 years old, and I was at the peak of my game as an actor. I was playing a leading role on one of London's West End theatres, and I was starring in a $25 million movie. But there's a twist. I walked away from that dream of fame and fortune, and I quit. And since then, well, I've been trying to find out why. You see, the movies and the stage shows that I was starring in, well, they never made it into the big time. And now, 25 years later, I know why. Because they were all led by unhealthy directors who had the attitude that my mistake is better than your mistake. And in my judgment, that cost all the investors all that money and ruined a few careers at the same time. See, that extra 10% that makes a good project, a great project, gets sabotaged, and the stressed out atmosphere causes, well, any talent in their team to be blocked with fear. Fear of not being good enough. And finally, at the age of 35, I had to admit that I was unhappy and on that road to becoming a celebrity. So, like, do you know the story Jack and the Beanstalk?
Yeah.
Well, I sold the cow for a few magic beans and climbed that dangerous stalk into an untamed film industry. But there are two sides to everything, and after my inflated ego had found its place in the world, I was left with something, a passion, to learn why people in the positions of power make these mistakes. And I also had been given a great gift, a dream to one day make my own creative projects that actually win for everyone involved. And maybe, just maybe, I could bring back that goose and leave the creative professions a golden egg that would empower myself and the other creators around me to be successful. So, after 25 years of professional filmmaking in over 152 locations around the world, meeting amazing people and recording all the wisdom from their lives, and working with A-list actors, celebrities, and hanging out with indigenous gurus in forests, concrete jungles, and deserts, I had the privilege to learn about life from those that know. But then one day, a guru told me that the time of gurus is over, and it's now time to find the guru in each of us. So that sent me out into a spin, and like the mythological story of Siddhartha, I too had gone around the world and ended up finding what I was looking for back in the village where I started, Brighton. So it's fitting that the best life skills I have learned came from Brighton, where I live. Where I lived, I now live in Hastings, and I found it from a volunteer charity called A Band of Brothers. Now, these caring men in my local community made the choice to stop walking past depressed young people begging in the streets and do their honourable best to guide them back into a society that had rejected their talents, just like me. So today, hundreds of men in each of the 10 towns in the UK volunteer to mentor young offenders who have sabotaged their own lives and ended up in trouble with the criminal justice system. And 80% of these young men are now happy with who they are in the world.
Oh, God, that's fascinating.
So living fulfilling lives and becoming leaders I mean, these young people are now accountable and full of integrity and full of joy. And the best part is that I have discovered why. So many of these young offenders managed to change their lives for the better. You see, they had experienced what I call rock bottom. And they now had the skills to defeat their personal demons and transform the curses that they have self-written on their t-shirts. And they've transformed them into inspiration, creativity, and purpose. So through this one extraordinary adventure in my local town, I too have changed my life for the better. And after this lifetime of adventure, I now find myself stuck in lockdown, unable to leave my home to do the work I love. In fact, millions of people around the world are also trying to figure out how to change their lives from the effects of this mysterious coronavirus. And you know what coronavirus means? Sovereign. Means the crown of the virus, the king, the queen's crown. And many of these people around me, and myself included, are experiencing fear from the limitations that we're told to face. And I feel anger at the discomfort of losing what I've spent years developing, and some grief at how our leaders seem to have no accountability, and their unhealthy choices force us to lose our freedom and power to look after ourselves. So the feelings that arise can breed real and limiting beliefs. And these beliefs hurt us, and hurt people. So today, I'm not binge watching Netflix and waiting for help from the government. I'm now accepting the possibility of realizing my dream. I am sharing the knowledge of my life with others. Others like yourselves who want to be the best in this crazy business, the film business. So we can do our honorable best to make that knowledge bring myself and others a joyous experience. So, what if I told you that I know there is a part in every one of us that we have lost? And with a small tweak of self-knowledge, we can recover this sovereign, like Corona, part of us from its abdication, like kings abdicate. And in our Game of Thrones world, we can discover what changes we're going to make to be happy, to bring us health, wealth, and creativity. And sometimes it's really hard to find that sovereign joy on our own. And some people resist that change. And some of those people are unable to study at college or university, have to find a mentor online to guide them towards the skills that are necessary for the change to be constructive. And what I found out is that we can all discover our own immense ability to mentor ourselves into our own healthy, wealthy happiness. Sounds good.
That's bloody brilliant.
So here's my offer. I'm going to help you bring the sovereign back onto the throne of your world by transforming all those negative curses laid before you by your past leaders and teachers and parents and friends. And very soon you might just find out what you need to be the best you can be. And I'm going to give you that first lesson for free because I believe in this stuff. And if you commit to this opportunity to really learn from a professional like me, you could learn to mentor yourselves you could learn to mentor yourselves into success. And that part of you that knows what kind of a sovereign person you really want to be may be waiting for that invitation. And once you accept that call to adventure, you just might step up onto that throne and present yourself to a world and present a shining example of the work you are passionate about. And all I ask is 90 minutes of your time. I wonder if you can afford that. And I will guide you towards realizing your life's work in a safe space where you can be vulnerable enough to make mistakes and learn from them without shame, without being humiliated, where you can bring your passion to your projects whilst making a joyous living, and plus the best part, finding the wisdom inside your own psyche to make your everyday actions bring rewarding results. And then as a team, we can go further together to lead others that you work with towards making your projects a creative success. So my invitation to you is try me out. Because this next Friday, 1st of May at 10 a.m. on Zoom, I'm going to take you through 4 easy steps to become your own mentor and change the way you live for whatever world we find at the end of this crisis. And get the rewards that give us opportunity, passion, and most importantly, joy. So I hope that Fyer-Huné will put a link for you this Friday or this Thursday. And I'm going to give you a challenge to hunt and gather that link and click it and come and join me and learn what 40 years in the professional film industry has taught me. And so we can create a team, and maybe one day we can all work in that special way that I've discovered and create an award-winning movie or a theatre show or a book or whatever it is your passion wants. So that's my invitation. And if you've heard the last 3 or 4 chats I've had with Fyer-Huné, you will have heard some of my experiences, and there's a lot more. And I'm not going to do it for you. If you want this, you've got to step up. So here's the challenge. Are you in?
I'm in. Wow. Oh, wow. That's
So how long was that?
Is that what you want to do?
Well, you know, that's my pitch.
Okay, well,
And ask me some questions. I mean, you've heard me for the last few weeks. Are there any questions you would like to sort of ask me?
to be honest, now you put me on the spot. Now I actually don't. But I think, to be honest, I just want to see this in process, like, happening, because it's hard to change someone's like way of life and way of thinking. Like, I'm all for it, because like, how many times I've had to change my way of thinking the last couple of years. Every year is like a different fire. I'm not even joking. Yeah, like it's like I'm already taking one mask off. But I'd love to know how you can make someone feel that secure and that confident and do well. That's brilliant, because I do feel like I loved uni. Uni was really, really good. I loved college and I got really good grades, but it'd be really good to see someone else's teachings and point of view, and mainly someone who's actually in the business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. My experience of college and universities is that the teachers are amazing, but they were taught probably 10 or 15 years ago in a different world. And so actually, you guys know the world you're growing up in. I don't. I'm living in my own bubble. So my task really is to listen to you and to create a safe space where you can explore that and discover who you want to be, not tell you how to be, not instruct you and give you a syllabus that you then have to learn parrot fashion and spout it back at me so that I can mark, oh yes, you've learned that. It's to just ask questions.
Yeah.
And then listen. And also to, which is what I never really got, was to acknowledge where your talents are and how good you are, because that gives you confidence, in my judgment. And it's something I never got. I was always told you need to be better. And therefore I made the conclusion I'm not good enough. And you know what that does? Makes my shoulders rise, makes the back of my neck tense. I can't think. I suddenly think, oh, I'm under pressure. Just like when I said, have you got any questions? And suddenly all the questions go out of your head.
Yes.
It's like that is not a relaxed, creative, safe space. And, some of the techniques that I'm learning and that I've learned and that I want to share create a space where we can just flow and we can decide, you can decide what you need to know and when you need to know it. It's, being a creative takes a lot of vulnerability. And if I'm not safe, I can't be vulnerable. So I have to pretend. I have to, like you just said, wear the mask to cope. And that limits me. I'm sure it limits you too.
Yeah, it's very tiring putting a mask on. It'd be brilliant to know how you don't put that mask on and you just flow. It'd just be nice to flow. Do you know what I mean? Like the life goes with you and you go with your life. Do you know what I mean? So that sounds like an amazing opportunity that if anyone turns it down, I understand there might be some people working, like myself, because I'd love to come on, but I'm working as well, still full time. But it would be an opportunity silly to be missed. So
yeah, and I have to say, if they personal message me, bencole@mac.com, and they're interested in doing it, I can always organize a time when you are available, and I can do an evening one or a weekend one. I could do one on Sunday morning. So if I get enough people interested, I'm happy to run two at different times in the week. Because you see, this is my sole purpose. This is my ambition. This is the dream I had when I walked away from that fame and fortune or that kind of possibility and went on that mission to find out how can we provide somewhere that actually empowers people to be the best people they want to be. And, it's ironic that I've learned that right in my local town, not out in the world, traveling the world. And, I've met so many gurus and so many teachers and Nobel Peace Prize winners and all that sort of stuff. And they know a lot, but they know a lot about their own world. And what I've learned is you as a young person know a lot about your world. And it's a place inside of you that knows how you're going to be successful, and that just has to be listened to and honored, and not like a priest but blessed by someone listening and asking the right questions. It sounds simple, but not a lot of people do it, because to become a teacher often people need to be right. And, you know, my old drama school teacher used to say to me that there's a professional deformity to teaching. You know, I need to be right and you need to learn what is right. Well, only you know what's right.
Mm.
And, you know, if you're going to make a film or a documentary about young people, well, who am I to tell you what to do? I'm not a young person in 2020. You are. So, you know, I can guide you to learn from your mistakes and to honor your mistakes, because it's only when we make mistakes that we learn, really. We can learn confidence from success, but we have to have a space where we can take off the mask and find out what's underneath. But I'm not going to take off my mask if I don't trust you. So what does it take to learn to be in an atmosphere of trust? And that's what I've been off out there finding out. And that's what I want to share. And, you know, hopefully you're the next generation of Oscar-winning filmmakers.
Hopefully.
Well, you know, no, maybe not hopefully, but maybe we need to find out what it's going to take. How do we do that? Because there are some people that are going to do that. And if you can't find that out after 40 years of feature films and documentaries and travel and all that sort of stuff, then you're not concentrating. So I've been concentrating, I assure you, and I've just found out some simple things that we can discover together. And, you know, I'm looking for a team that I can train in these techniques. And I've tried it out. You know, I did a movie a couple of years ago where I tried these techniques out and it worked. Everybody stepped up and everybody was like, wow, what a great day. And every day we were like, you know, crossing our fingers because we were like, wow, that's a great day. Maybe we'll have a bad day tomorrow. And each day became great and we stopped having problems and we all became this great family sitting in a circle, all equal, all serving the project and not the fact that, you know, that I'm right or you're wrong, or, you know. And we made an award-winning film, and that is extraordinary. Extraordinary, not different, just extraordinary.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Mainly, it's amazing that it's actually been done and it's actually worked as well. So it shows that anyone who's like, oh, this can't be true, this is too good to be true. No, it's been done, it's worked, and here's what you made. So brilliant.
The important thing is that I'm not going to do it. You're going to do it. I'm just going to help you set up a space in which you can be the best person that you can be. And also the worst person you can be, so you can discover when you're good and when you're not good, when you're on it. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes things just work out and you go, there's a famous story of Laurence Olivier, who was in Hamlet, and he got a standing ovation at the end of the show, and he walked into his dressing room and slammed the door, and the director walked in and went, Larry, why are you so upset? You were marvelous tonight. And he said, yes, but I don't know why. And I suppose I heard that story when I was an actor, and, you know, the best really work hard to find out why. Why is it that I'm great then and I'm not so great now? And sometimes it's risking failing. And, you know, when I interview people for a documentary, like I was interviewing Ringo Starr, and he sat down, and it was obviously he was nervous. And so we said to him, we want you to try not to be great, to fail. Because the energy it takes to try and be great means you have to put that mask on of being great. And underneath that mask, you're going, maybe I'm not that great. So take the mask off, find out why one isn't that great and what we need to be great. And then when you get a job, you can say, this is what I need. And in return, I'm going to be great because I've tested this. And you need an environment in which to test that. So if you're an actor, to test when is it that you're not in your flow? And as a director, how do I hold the space for others to get the best potential out of them? And even as a producer, you know, you've got a certain amount of money, and if you make a mistake, it costs. So finding out what are the best mistakes to make, when can you make those mistakes, and then how do you learn from it, and how do you then not make those mistakes again? And then you start, as a production goes on, you get better and better, and you start saving more and more money, and at the end you have a great wrap party because you saved loads of money.
Something at the end of it. Rain the booze. Oh, Ben, well, everyone, please go and join it. I am now, straight after this, going to edit this and get it out tomorrow morning for you, Ben, because we need people to join this. And I would love to join this. Probably be that person who can't join on the day, though, because then they get weekends off.
So you only get weekends off. So, okay. So I can do one on Sunday about 11 a.m. How's that?
That sounds very good. That just
flexibility.
Indeed. See, this is why everyone should definitely come to bed, because he's that flexible as well. So, well, I'm in, everyone, so you should be in, and just make yourself brilliant and have this brilliant guy, Ben, help you on the way. And I feel like you'll get something out of it as well. Like you said, just spreading your word of how you got there and how you can help people. So
that's just the last word here.
Okay, go on.
What I've discovered mentoring young men that come out of prison is that I learn more from them by mentoring them than they do from me. Because what I learn is that I know something. And what comes out of my mouth, as I've discovered in these interviews with you, because you are interested and you have a good quality of listening, I discover I know something. And if all my job is to listen to what's coming out between us and then learn what I'm teaching. So every single teacher teaches what they need to learn. And that's what I say every time I do a session where I'm leading, is I'm saying everything I'm going to tell you, I need to learn myself.
Wow.
And that every teacher, every great teacher I've ever witnessed has said at the beginning, and every director has said, look, I may not have the talent, so I need your talent to join in with mine, and then together we will find how to make a brilliant project. Brilliant. So that's my mission. And if I get to do that, I feel great. I earn a living doing what I love. And yeah, so come with me on this adventure.
Oh wow. Well, Ben, you hit the time on the dot. You did it really, really well, and I bet you've got so much more to say.
Yeah, loads.
But we could do this. We could do more, just because it might seem like the end. It's not. You're doing your Zooms. We can rekindle this, and I just want to say a huge, huge, huge thank you for your time, and really. I know that I have really enjoyed this, and I know that everyone who's been watching it has. So yeah, thank you, and I'd love to join you on Sunday, and everyone else join you on Friday or whatever day they can do it to get in touch.
Yeah. So I will do one. I'll do one this Sunday and then the next Friday. So it'll give a week or whatever. You know, if you can get this out by tomorrow.
Oh, I'm getting out tomorrow. Don't you worry, darling. It's happening.
Yeah. And then if I'll run one on Sunday anyway as a test, and then the next Friday and the next Sunday we'll do more, because it's only 90 minutes of my time. And you know, after that you get the opportunity, once you've done that free call, you get the opportunity as a suggested donation of £10 a session, which is, let's face it, a couple of drinks at the pub, which we can't do, to join in with others that are professionals. And, you know, the best advice I can ever give to young people out of film school is, you know, learn with other professionals, and then you become part of their family. And they're going to come to you because you've learned the same things they have and you're already on the same page.
That's brilliant.
All right.
Wow. Thank you very much, Ben.
You know, we could do one more where people could ask questions. And we always intended to do that. So if you can get a list of questions, or we could do a live call on Facebook Live or something like that, and then they can type the questions in depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll get advertising and see how much we get and see if we get enough to do that. But that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ben.
All right. Have a lovely evening.
And you. Thank you very much. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.